Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we're sewing up the Take a Break lunchbox pattern. I'm so excited about it. I'm obsessed with how it turned out. It is so cute. I even matched my pattern, my stripes, so I was super proud about that. I hope you love it. Let me show you how I made it so you can make it with me. Alright friends, I've got all my pieces cut out, and one thing I like to do is use a little clip to keep them together. That way I can keep the names of my pattern pieces with my actual pattern pieces, and that way I won't get them mixed up. I've got my outer pieces, I've got my lining, which I'm using this waterproof canvas, so the inside of my lunchbox will be completely waterproof. I'm also using, let me show you, I cut it out right here, some of this insulated lining that I'm going to be adding, insulating foam that I'm going to be adding, so that it also acts as insulation so that my lunchbox can be cool. And so I'm excited about that. So I got zippers, I got all my pieces cut out, my piping, well not piping, my bias tape, webbing, and my thread. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put interfacing and all the exterior pattern pieces according to instructions. So we're going to go ahead and separate this and do that. All right, next we're going to grab our exterior slipped pocket. So the exterior is the one that I cut in my main fabric. This is the interior, which says this is the lining. We're gonna grab it, we're gonna fold it wrong sides together and create a crease here at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and do an edge stitch here at the straight edge. All right, so now I'm going to grab the exterior bottom panel, one of them, and I'm going to grab my pocket, my exterior slip pocket I already did. I'm gonna first fold it in half. You can either create a crease or just mark it. I'm gonna put a pin right here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this. First, I'm gonna baste on the sides, baste all around it, so that way it's not gonna move on you when you go to sew it. I'm not a big baster, but when it comes to making bags or things with woven like this that have to be more precise, I am a baste believer. And then we're going to go in and we're going to do a straight stitch here to separate that pocket basically. So it'll be like, these will be two pockets. So we're going to start here at the top and back stitch and go down and back stitch, and these is going to be just a basting stitch, which is a long straight stitch on your sewing machine, but this right here will be a regular stitch. Now we're going to do this same step that we did to this, we're going to do it to the interior slip pocket. If you're doing a slip pocket like this for the inside of your lunchbox, we're going to do the same thing. So this is my interior lining fabric, and it is a waterproof, because I still want to use my waterproof fabric for the inside. So since this is a waterproof canvas, I don't want to melt it. So I'm not going to steam it. You could steam it by using a cloth on top of it and steaming lightly. But I've got this little tool here, this rolling tool, that helps me create a memory crease on these type of fabrics. So that way, see that? I just created that crease right there. And what I'm gonna do is, again, just like I top stitch there, I'm gonna top stitch here, and then I'm gonna grab my interior. Here's my interior panel. And I'm going to place my pocket on top, baste the sides, and sew in the middle, just like I'm doing for that one. Look at me being a good girl and changing my thread color so that it matches. Are you all proud of me? Pockets, slip pockets are finished. This is the inside pocket, so I'll be able to place things inside of there. And then I've also got the outer. Now, you know, the really cool thing about making something like this is that you can make it customizable. If you wanted the pocket to be completely open and you didn't want to have these two little markings here, dividers, you don't have to do that. I think that these dividers are really cool for putting like utensils. If you're putting condiments or stuff inside of them, that would be really neat for that. I'm trimming all this extra thread. Oh my goodness, look at how cute this is already looking. These are just basting stitches that will come off later. But you're so proud of me that I'm keeping my colors, my thread colors. All right, so those pockets will get put aside. And now we're gonna work on our exterior, on our welt pockets. So we're gonna work on the wrong side of the exterior back bottom. So let's find the exterior back bottom. Interior. Exterior back, I think this is the exterior back bottom. Yeah, exterior bottom panel, there it is. Okay, so I've got that. And I'm gonna grab my piece right here and we're going to either cut this out, or if you're doing this on a projector, you can go ahead and use that, but I'm gonna be cutting this little box out. All right, so here is my exterior bottom, and I'm also going to grab my exterior back pocket lining. This is the zipper pocket. Now make sure that you put some interfacing on the back of your pocket. If you didn't, then you're going to want to put at least an inch of interfacing where the the zipper is going to go. Then we're going to grab our, well, first of all, we want to kind of mark where our pocket's going to go. So we kind of line it up with these, with the other pocket. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to place this right here on top and use this pattern piece. No need for you. We're going to place, this is the outer pocket. This is the pocket lining. We're going to place it right on top using this guide right here that I have. I'm going to mark where my pocket is going to go. Now, obviously my dark blue marker is not going to show up on this fabric, but I think I have chalk. Okay, so I have this marking pen, but I don't know if it's going to work because I haven't used it in forever. I usually use my blue one. You can kind of see it. So I'm going to just mark this box here where my zipper pocket's going to go. Marking all the sides. Hey, it worked. And then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew up just the top and bottom line, not the sides yet. Because you don't want to sew the sides yet because of the fact that if you do, it might cause puckering here at the sides, and we don't want that. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go a straight stitch, back stitch here, go straight at the top, go straight at the bottom, and do sew it up, not the sides though. All right, so I'm just gonna trim the ends. Remember, I back stitched here the two ends. Here you can see it on this side. You can see what I did, the two lines, the two straight lines. Now I'm going to, here in the little box, do the middle line, which I did not draw earlier, but needs to be on there because that's gonna be where you're going to cut next. I have this chalk, so here's my mark. Just going right over it. It's a little wiggly because I'm just going right over it. And the little triangles. And you can use your pattern piece to guide you and draw that in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut through that middle line. And then I'm going to cut towards the thread. Now, it might be easier to see on this side if you have dark thread like me. So you're going to cut right to the line. See that? And then to the other side as well. Now we didn't sew the corners here because we wanted to leave it so that way we can do it a little bit later when we top stitch and we don't have puckering here. Now I'm going to grab my lining and steam it towards the top. I'm going to steam towards the bottom. I folded it and steam it towards the bottom. And then the bottom, I'm going to steam it towards the top. because I'm going to open up this gap and tuck in my pocket through there. And actually the sides, you might want to steam the sides over so that they're nice and sharp. So now I fit it through that gap, and now I steam it again. Here's the right side of that pocket, what that pocket's gonna look like on the right side. The front, here's the back where I pulled out my pocket from the back, so you can see that, okay? And now we're going to attach our zipper. So I couldn't find the exact size, so these are very long zippers, and I wanted to go with something bright, so that way it would contrast a little bit. But the pink kind of matches the pink out here. And this is what it will look like. Oh, I'm kind of regretting that decision. What do y'all think? I kind of wish, should I have gone with just black? Or do you think it's cool to have the pop-up color? Or maybe I'll just do the pop-up color on the inside and do the black on the outside so it's all nice and the same color. What do y'all think? Well, let's just go with the pink since I got the pink scissors, the pink, not scissors, the pink zipper anyways. So that's how it's going to go. So you're going to be attaching it to the wrong side. This is the wrong side of the outer back, the exterior bottom panel. I'm sorry, couldn't get my words right. See how the interfacing is there? This is the pocket lining, the exterior pocket bag. And then I am going to grab my zipper and we're going to place it right here. Now you want it to open from left to right. Well, that's what I want it to do. So I'm going to make sure that it's doing that because this is going to be what it looks like on the right side. I'm going to turn it to the wrong side. Now you can go ahead and just like pin it. So I'm going to have to clip all this off of the zipper because of the fact that they didn't have the right size. That's okay. But what you can use, you can pin it, or you can use some like Steam-a-seam or hem tape or some kind of adhesive that is going to help you like put your zipper in place, like stick your zipper in place. So then I'm going to place my zipper over it and push my zipper tape right on it. I like to do it from the front like this so I can see exactly where my zipper tape is going to look like from the front. Make sure it's all even and nice. And then I'm going to use my iron and steam it so that it adheres. Don't melt your zipper. So now my zipper is adhered to my pocket. Whoop, not enough right here. All right, now it's on there. So now I can go to my sewing machine and top stitch all the way around the whole zipper. And then once I'm done top stitching, I can cut off the rest of the zipper. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine, top stitch around the whole thing. Now we're going to do the same exact thing for the interior panel. So here's my interior panel. This is I need the right side. This is the right side of my interior panel. This is the interior zipper pocket lining. So I'm just doing the same thing, how I did it with the other one, except for this one's a little bit lower. Oops. Sure your pattern matches. Okay, this one's a little bit lower, so it's going to go like right in here. And I'm going to do the same exact steps that I did for the other pocket. So I'm going to first cut out the pocket markings. The reason why I'm doing this right now instead of going to sew it is because then that way I can sew them both at the same time. If you wanted to do one at a time, you can do that. And that's if you're doing all the zipper options. If you don't want to do the zipper options, you can obviously skip this part and just do the slip pockets. You don't have to do this zipper pocket, but obviously I'm going to add all the pockets that I can. So I'm going to do it. All right, so then I'm going to place it over here. This is the right side of my lining is touching the wrong side. The right side of my lining is touching the right side of my inside. So this is the right side of the inside pocket, the inside lining. And I'm going to grab my markings and I'm going to mark my pocket here, just like I did earlier. See if I have enough of this to mark, because I'd rather mark it with the pen than with the chalk, because the chalk gets everywhere. But I need to get a new pen. This one looks like it's all out of ink. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, so that's good. And so the two lines, the top and the bottom, like I did earlier. Now with this one, I have to be super careful. I can't really steam it because it is that vinyl, that waterproof. So I don't want it to melt. But I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did over here with my zipper, where I sewed the, turned the zipper around and put the, and stuck the tape. I'm gonna do that same thing for this one. All right, we're gonna switch the foot to a zipper foot so we can get a close fit on the zipper. Zippers are not my favorite thing to do, but they're not too bad. So this is what my zipper foot looks like, and we just kind of put it in there. I don't really know which side I'm coming at, so I'm just gonna put it right there and start on, oh yeah, no, I want it on this side. Okay. So we're just gonna go all the way around the zipper and box it in. When you're going across, make sure that you're careful because of your zipper, especially if your zipper, this is a plastic molded zipper, so it will be easier for my needle to go through, but just be very careful, it's not gonna pop your needle. So I go very slowly over that zipper, and then we turn and we finish the other side. Before I move on, I want to make sure that I cut all my zipper lines and it's not like going off the edge or anything. And there is my zipper. Looks so good, actually. I love it. So now I can cut off the rest of my zipper here, and then I can close my zipper bag. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it here at the sewing machine while I can. I'm gonna cut off the rest of my zipper here, and then I'm going to grab my zipper bag and fold it right sides together and sew the raw edges closed. So there's the side. Yeah, I can change my foot, but zipper foot works just fine. But make sure you move the other side, the right side of the outer fabric out of the way. All right, so now I gotta go over to my serger and I'm gonna finish off these raw edges so they are not going to fray. I know they're gonna be on the inside, but I still wanna finish them off. And there is my pocket. If I open it, there it is. I'm gonna do the exact same thing to my inner pocket. Next, we're gonna work on our webbing, and I'm gonna cut my webbing into 2 pieces, and then I'm going to actually burn my ends of my webbing, or you could do like a zigzag stitch to finish them off. I just don't want them to fray, so this helps with the fraying. Holy cow, how did I used it up so much and I didn't even burn myself? That was an accomplishment. Not that you really care about that, but anyway, I'm gonna grab my webbing and I'm gonna measure a 1/2 inch from the bottom and you can mark it. I'm just gonna pin it. You're gonna do this same step to all 4 sides, but I'm just gonna show you with one. I've got my little piece here for the exterior top, front, and back panel, and I've got my front and back panels here. And this is the webbing placement right here where this mark is, and I place it right there, matching up. That 1/2 inch will be hanging down at the bottom. Whoops. You know what? I'll mark it like that. And then 1/2 inch will be hanging down here at the bottom. Okay. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure from the top. Well, let me go ahead and clip this here. Okay, I'm gonna measure from the top 1.5 inches, and then another inch down from that. Now I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and sew it here at the bottom to tack it on. Now I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and I'm gonna do a little square here with like a little X in the middle to tack on my strap. And I'm gonna do that to all 4. So I'm gonna bring this strap over like so, right here, leave my 1/2 inch hanging down at the bottom. And then here at the top, again, measure 1.5 inches. And then 1 inch down from that. And then do the same for the other strap. All right, let me go to my sewing machine and sew that little square box in there to attach those straps. I like to do back and forth on the top and bottom line just so that there's a reinforcement. So here's kind of what it looks like on the back. I didn't really, it looks like I didn't go all the way up, but that's okay. There's extra reinforcement, and the fact that it's black, you can't even tell. I'm gonna grab now, these are the tops and these are the bottoms. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so adorable. I'm gonna grab my bottom and I'm going to grab my top, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna place it right on top of my bottom, both for the front and the back of the body of the outer. And we're gonna sew them right sides together. Look at how cute that's gonna be. Woo. When I go through my straps, I like to back stitch over them to make sure I keep them reinforced. I'm gonna flip this top piece up and face the seam allowance towards the bottom part, and then I'm going to top stitch here, kind of holding it a little bit taut. You can go steam it if you want, but I think I can do it without steaming if I'm just like holding it nicely and sharply. Alrighty, now we're gonna prep our gusset. And you all, I was at the fabric store and I said, I need to buy some adhesive. And I didn't, I forgot. I went there, looked at it, walked away for a second to go get some, to get my, what do you call them, zippers. And then I came back and I didn't get it. But so I'm using this heat bond thing I had, which works just fine, obviously, because I just did the other one. But if I didn't, I was getting ready to just use a glue stick. You all, you're probably like, oh my goodness. I am one of those people who, if you have not noticed by now, uses whatever they have in hand to get what I need to get done, right? You know, sometimes you don't have all these fancy equipments and I want to still make the bag and I want it to turn out great. So I use what I have. All right, so there is that one. Those are the top ones. So I did the outer and I put in the the adhesive to adhere the what is this called, the insulation foam to it. So that's the top, and then I'm going to do the same on the bottom one, on the top and bottom gusset. I don't know if I said that these were the gussets. All right, now we're grabbing our zipper, and again, remember I got a super long one because they didn't have the size I needed. So I'm gonna grab one of my exterior pieces and gonna position it, this is my Gusset top exterior piece, right side up. I'm gonna position my zipper right on top of that edge right here, right sides together. So this is the right side of the zippers touching the right side of my gusset. And then I'm gonna grab one of the interiors and I'm gonna place it right on top of that zipper. Now, let me tell you this. For this waterproof canvas, so this is the, what do you call it? The side with the texture is the right side, and the side that's smooth is the wrong side. When I made my inside, I used the smooth side as my right side, just because I want to be able to wipe it off really easily, and it really doesn't matter. So when I'm doing the gusset, that is the reason why you'll see that I am touching the shiny side to this part right here, but they're supposed to be right sides together. So if you're using the other part as your right side, you want that to be touching. You want the right side to be touching. So you're making a sandwich of a zipper, and the right side of the zipper is touching the right side of the outer fabric. All right, let's go top stitch that down. All right, now we're going to open this up. Here's my one side of my zipper. This is the top, and this is the bottom, well, the inside, sorry. The outer and the exterior and interior. I couldn't think of the word. This is the interior, and this is the exterior. And I'm going to crease it, or you can use your iron and iron it down. And now we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So you can grab your outer, place it right sides together. I want to see if, make sure, kind of do more stripe matching than I usually do. I don't usually do this very well, but it looks like I might be able to. So I'm going to do the right side of the zipper right over so that they match. Hopefully my stripes are somewhat matching, we'll see. And then where's my other piece? Where'd you go? Right here, my lining piece right on top of it. So we're literally doing exactly the same thing we did earlier, where we match up the wrong side. The outer is touching, the outer piece is touching the right side of the zipper, and the liner is touching the wrong side of the zipper, and it's a sandwich. So it's outer, zipper, liner. Now, since I'm trying to stripe match, what I can do here, will I do it? I don't know. But what I can do here is just baste the zipper on first, open it up and see if it matched. And if it didn't, I can redo it. And if it did, then I can just go ahead and go back and top stitch it. But you all know, I just kind of go for it. But let me kind of open it nicely. Ooh, it's a little bit farther this way, so I gotta move it more this way. So I'm gonna move it over just a tiny bit. All right, I think that's gonna be great. Make sure my zipper is trapped in there nicely, and we're gonna go ahead and go sew it. All right, there's the zipper, and it actually looks really good. Make sure you flatten it out. And now we're going to go ahead and top stitch. When I'm top stitching, I want to make sure that my lining, because I'm using this thicker lining, is pulled away from the zipper, so it's not going to jam the zipper. So I'm going to try to use this ruling thing and kind of pull it away from the zipper so it's not like getting cut on the zipper when I open or close my bag. You know what I mean? And I'm going to go top stitch all the way around the zipper. And here at the edges, I'm gonna back stitch here and here. Make sure that if you're using whatever kind of zipper you're using, you don't break your needle here, so just go real careful. All right, so I top stitched the zipper. Now I'm going to grab my, this is my outer. I'm gonna place it right sides together here on the raw edges. And what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm actually gonna make, actually make a sandwich. So this is my lining. This is my lining of the bottom gusset. So I'm gonna place that inside, not lining, the interior, right sides together with the interior, and then the exterior right sides together with the exterior. You may, if you want to, you can go ahead and baste it together first, like do one at a time and baste them. I'm just going to do both of them at the same time and back stitch here through the zipper to make sure that it's caught and it looks nice. And then do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to move my zipper down a little bit. Remember that this side is probably going to be a little bit harder because of the fact that the zipper here is open. So let me go ahead and try to close it up with some pins right here. No, that's not gonna help. Well, it'll be okay. Remember though that, see how it's like making this shape right here because the bottom gusset is shorter than the top gusset. This side is the one that's gonna be hard to do both of them at the same time. Be like, no, don't do that. We'll see. If it doesn't turn out, then I'll have to baste and come back to it. But if you want to, you can go ahead and baste first the one of them and then come back in at the other. All right, so we're gonna sew that, and our gusset will be ready to attach to put our bag together. Are you ready to put our bag together? Yay! Oh no. This is the part where the zipper is right there. So I don't want to run over my zipper so that the zipper is closed. So I'm gonna have to redo that right there because I ran over it. Don't want my zipper to be closed. I want it to be regular. Has been stitched together, so then now we turn it right side out and finger press here, and we're gonna top stitch here at the two edges here. So I'm gonna go do that. While I'm there, I'm gonna grab my back and front, and what we're going to do is the outer of the one with the slip pocket. It's gonna match up the one with the zipper. Put it right sides together. No, not right sides together. Wrong sides together. Wrong sides together, sorry. And we're gonna line it up, and then we're going to stitch the sides, but we're gonna leave a gap where we can insert the insulating foam. So I'm gonna just baste them together because next we're going to sew everything all together with the gusset. So it'll be like sewn this side here, and then this side. Again, backing with backing. Baste it together because then we're going to sew this one on this side. And this will be your Now comes the fun part where we put it all together. Oh, I gotta insert this insulated piece in there. Ooh, it's gonna be so nice. Like already this is looking adorable. Okay, so you may want to clip in your corners where you're going to be turning to kind of help you with that little turn, those little turns right there. All right, so what we're going to do is first I'm going to grab my bag and I'm going to quarter it. the front and the back. So like fold it in half and mark where the top, where the bottom, and then fold it in half again and mark the middles. We're gonna do one at a time. So I'll do the front first, and then we'll come back and do the back. We're gonna grab our, oh, you know what? We're gonna mark this thing as well, whatever this is called. The gusset. That's what it's called. Here's our top and our bottom. Top and bottom, and go to the sides. Okay, you will notice that this is not the side here. So you need to make sure that that is nice and finished. And now we're going to go ahead and match up those areas right sides together. So let me turn this kind of inside out, because you want to match those right sides together. The right side of the bag, you can go ahead and clip your marks that you marked, your quarters. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That way I can make sure the strap, you want to make sure the strap is moved down. I don't want to catch the strap there. I don't want to pin it because I am using that waterproof material. So I don't want to pierce it anymore that I gotta, but see how it's right sides together and it's kind of coming together. So now we gotta match up all the edges. And the more clips you put on here, the easier it'll be, because you're gonna take this really slowly on the machine, because you're going around the curve. Some people like to clip or staple the corners. So if you want to staple the corners here to help you get a better grip, you can do that. I'm just clipping. Oh yeah, that strap does not want to come up. Do not make that strap come up. If you accidentally cut it on your basting stitch, make sure you cut it off and pull it out of the way. Get that strap out of the way. You don't want to catch it there. All right, so there it is, all clipped up. You can see on this side, this is the inside of my bag. I'm gonna go all the way around and sew that real slowly, making sure that it all fits nicely and you don't have any like places where it's puckering like I did right. All right, we got done with that. Now we can trim any excess seam allowance. Was that not so much fun? Honestly, that was the hardest part of the whole bag. So we are almost done. I like to kind of look at it really quickly and make sure that you catch everything and you didn't catch the strap. Make sure that it's looking good before I continue on, because right now is the time where you can, you know, like if it didn't look good, you can take it apart and fix it before you sew the other side, and then you realize, oh no, you know what I mean? So I want to turn it around, poke all of it out, and look at my work and say, oh, she gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. All right, now we can finish. Don't worry about the inside. That's gonna have the binding. All right, let's turn it. Let's turn it again so we can finish the other side. So we're doing exactly the same thing to the other side. We've got one more side to go. We are done sewing those up. Last step, I'm using pre-made bias binding. And all I'm doing is just encasing this seam allowance in the bias binding and then top stitching it. Super easy. I'm going to be using the same color thread, so it'll be nice. Oh, make sure you trim the seam allowance if you need to before you add the bias binding. That way it's all encased in there. And you could create your own bias binding, and I kind of think I maybe should have created my own bias binding, so I could have used different kind of bias binding, because this is just regular like woven fabric, feels like. And being that I'm using this waterproof canvas, Shirley probably used something that's more waterproof. And a friend of mine mentioned using like gross grain ribbon would work as well. So anyway, I think it'd still be good because I'd still be able to wipe it down, but it's gonna be super cute. Here at the end, I'm gonna cut that off, fold the bias binding in, and then catch it here. We're gonna go sew that, top stitch it together. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. And then we'll be done. That's it. This is our last step. Are you excited? I can't wait to turn it around and see our finished results. I'm excited about it. This is like perfect timing because school is about to start in a couple of weeks and I don't have a lunchbox. So this is a perfect lunchbox for me. I might go ahead and make one for Caleb as well, my son. So he'll have one, and I'll make it in his, you know, colors that he likes. And then this time I probably will use a different binding that's more waterproof, because I probably will take care of this a little bit better than he will. He'll just shove things in there and make a mess. That way he can clean it all up himself if it's not. We are done. Now all we got left to do is turn it around and admire our work. Come on. It's kind of hard to turn around because it's so thick. This has got that nice waterproof and heat resistant, or whatever it's called, in it. Oh my goodness. Inside, zipper pocket, other pocket, zipper, top zipper, handles, front pocket, put money in there, change, front pockets where I could put, there's a strip, anything in there that I want to take somewhere with me. This thing is so stinking adorable. I love how it turned out. I think it is the cutest thing ever. I hope you love it as much as I do. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. It doesn't have to just be a lunchbox. I could just make this as like a little makeup bag without all the insulated stuff in it. I think it turned out so super cute. Let me know what you think. And I hope this was helpful for when you make your own. So go grab your pattern in the description below and make it with me.